And this is our 2024 Promaster Super High Roof. So it's been a few weeks since we sprayed the sound deadening. Normally you only have to wait 24 hours, but in Minnesota you have to wait 3 weeks because, sun and warmth. Unfortunately, we had to rip up all the masking that we put down earlier because of my stupid mistake of using painter's tape. Again, read the instructions. This time we were a little smarter and more efficient, using a lot more aluminum foil stuffing in the nooks and crannies. Also, it was just a lot easier to cover all the mechanisms inside the door panel, easier to cover all the trim and the gaskets around the door, and overall just easier and faster, so use it. So if you make a mistake and have to start over, aluminum foil could also be your silver lining. After getting most of the work done already, Ellen decides to come out and help. So you may be asking, didn't I learn my lesson with taping the floor the first time, and then painstakingly having to pull it all up, just to do it again? Yes, I did, but that green tape is actually automotive tape, unlike the blue tape. I still am using the painter's tape for some things that I know won't be soaked in the ceramic insulation, but it was much easier to come off. The whole point of laying down the automotive tape was 1, to prevent the overspray, and 2, I originally thought I was going to spray ceramic insulation down on the floor if I had enough. I had some left over from the sound deadening and I figured, why not? In the end, I didn't end up spraying it, but it was still nice to pull up the tape and have a clean rib. I knew it was going to be important to adhere the floor down to those ribs, so it was just nice. I decided I need a break. I left, went and got a beer, just relaxed a little bit. Ellen had it from here. I worked all morning. It was her turn. I'm just kidding. I ran out of automotive tape. I didn't think I would need that much, and I sure as hell wasn't going to use the painter's tape. It wouldn't feel like a real work day if I didn't have to run out of my way to the hardware store, grumbling all the way about how much I hate myself for forgetting something or not buying enough. Anyway, after doing all that work again, it was finally time to start laying down the ceramic insulation. It was a lot easier this time to start, because at least now I could see where I was spraying instead of black over black. If you're going to end up doing this yourself, a good recommendation is to have 2 canisters, so you can have 1 canister ready to go when you need to exchange, but also another person to fill those canisters in between. Ellen was going to be at work for a couple more hours, so it was a lot more time consuming for me to get out and have to fill my own canisters. And some of you might be asking, is it worth all this time and money spent on this? And I don't really know. I like to think so. But I don't think it's my objective to sway you one way or another. I think my goal is to provide you with new information and show you my experience. And from there, you have to formulate your own opinion and decide if it's worth your time and energy to do it. It was expensive. We bought 8 gallons of sound deadening, about 6 gallons of the ceramic insulation. In order to spray it, you need the spray gun. You need an air compressor, which I didn't have, but the Tyvek suit, the respirator, drop sheets, tape, more tape, and then different kinds of tape because you mess up. And these are all things that I would probably need or even buy as an adult. But right now, on top of the van purchase and all the other supplies that you're buying, it's kind of another big purchase. And don't ask me why I need a Tyvek suit as an adult. You just never know. So this is Friday night. I'm just trying to get as much done as I can in one full pass. Working late into the evening, but we had a lot to do the rest of the weekend. We needed to spray another coat of the ceramic insulation and make sure we have full coverage, but we also wanted to install the floor. This is hard to do. Ellen and I both work full time, and so we're making this in long nights and long weekends, and just trying to get as much done as we possibly can. The next day was much the same, just more spraying. I covered up some of the holes that I left the previous night. We were trying to decide if we were going to have the windows high or low, and ultimately we decided on having high since we were going to have a high bed and a bike garage up underneath that. Ideally, when you're spraying this, you want the 2 layers each being 20 mils for a total of 40 mil coverage. I'm not sure if I oversprayed or too thick the first coat and left some spots pretty thin, but you can see through on some of the spots. So my goal was to make a more uniform color of white and then go back through it with the second coat on the areas that I thought would be most likely to have a lot of thermal conduction. And the idea behind that is to create a thermal break. So that way when you lay your insulation and your framing and then your inside wall, that you don't get all that conduction into the interior space and vice versa. Ellen decided we were done and she was really excited about it. I mean, look at that smile. And I have to agree, this was the best part of the entire experience. Being done, being out of the Tyvek suit, being out of the loud noises, beer in hand, in the sun, just having a good time. And so was it worth it?
118.4 degrees.
What?
83.5
Oh my
degrees.
gosh. I gotta feel it. Yeah. I'm too short.
That's insane.